Hi, I'm Greg. I live at the Hotel Cecil. The day was September 11th. I'd been here about 2 weeks, and it was dark, so it must have been about, I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock, something like that. But the fire alarm went off, and it was. It was the first time that the fire alarm had ever gone off since I got here, so I didn't know the protocol. I mean, it's just like, do you just automatically ignore it, or do you really have to evacuate the building, or whatever? So I locked up my room, and I walked outside to think, just to see what was going on, see if I had to evacuate. And so I walked down to the street. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what's going on, and there's debris all over the street, like a bed frame, a mattress, there were shopping carts, pieces of the plantation shutters that he had ripped from the 4th floor, a fire extinguisher. I'm walking, then all of a sudden people start yelling, hey, 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 get out of the way, get out of the way. And all of a sudden, boom! I tried to go back. So anyway, after I realized that I was not safe on the Cecil side of the street, I went to the other side of the street and started filming. And that's where I saw the man up on the 4th floor fire escape, completely naked, continuing to throw debris down. And by this time, the fire department had showed up. No police had showed up. And you see residents are helping people, now the cars, the traffic's being diverted into the bike lane. Oh, and a crowd had started to gather. There was, there was quite, you saw the video. Yeah, there were probably 10 to 20 people at this point, and they were coming in by the minute because it was it was a very dramatic event. But when I started to film.
Yeah, he's on the 4th floor. It's really funny that they're not really paying attention to him. Yeah,
second or third.
It would be like the 3rd window up that you can count. Yeah, you'll see him. He'll come out and throw something out or something.
I see him.
There he is.
God, I feel sorry for those people's cars right there.
Well, I feel sorry for anyone that was walking underneath that window when he was throwing those bicycles and stuff out. He threw a mattress frame out.
Yeah, I know. I saw the frame hit the track.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do?
And then when the police finally got there, I wanted to see how they were going to respond to the guy, and they shot. And this is all on video. It's part of our video. They shined a spotlight on the guy, kind of took a look at him for like 1 second, and then took the light off of him, and then just ignored him after that. That was it. They're completely indifferent to what the guy was doing. They made absolutely no attempt to restrain him or take him into custody or anything. They just let him do what he was doing while they went along their business. And I remarked to on the video, I was talking to a bystander about that exact thing.
So what are they gonna do?
I don't know. It's like the cops are like ignoring it. The fire, look, they're breaking their perimeter. They're just going home and leaving him where he is.
I don't know, but damn, he's gonna be like this all What the hell?
That's it. They're just leaving. Holy what the?
I think they're just moving out of the way. What?
You know, that they were completely indifferent to this guy, you know, going absolutely berserk. And you know, this wouldn't happen in Beverly Hills. You know, they wouldn't ignore someone going, but it's Skid Row, and the rules are different. Like in terms of law enforcement and in public safety, the laws are different, or the policies are different on Skid Row. I completely forgot about this. I left it out of the narrative. When I woke up September 11th morning, I was woken up by a megaphone.
You do the math. Y'all put the bucks in my head. Fake ass street niggas.
When I got off there, I realized that it was the same guy that the police had been talking to from a megaphone. You know, in the earlier in the morning, calling him by name and telling him to get down. I thought he might have been a jumper, or they thought he might have been a jumper. But you know, obviously they didn't take him away. And when I came back home, you know, 8 hours later, he was the guy that was involved in this incident. So he had been on LAPD mental health radar since the morning, but they didn't do anything. And then what happened. He was partying. He was partying. He was just having a really good time. He was just tripping balls, man. He was on something. I mean, you see it a lot down here. I mean, he was, I don't know what it is. There's something about the fourth floor that makes people crazy. The fact that they just left the guy there. You know, like what? Maybe he needed help. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't they try and help him? Oh yeah, and then well, I went to the fourth floor the next morning to kind of survey the damage, because it's, you know, it's only below mine, and there was just debris everywhere. He had basically everything that could be ripped off or broken or smashed had been broken off, ripped or smashed. He smashed the fire extinguisher, you know, compartment, and threw the fire extinguisher down on the street. I went over to the fire escape where he actually was, and he had destroyed all the shutters, you know, because there are shutters just like this one on the fire escape window, and he completely ripped those off and thrown those out on the street. And yeah, it was carnage. And I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he was taken into custody. If, you know, I have no idea what happened to him. The really, you know, besides the bizarreness of the incident itself, what really shocked me was the amount of time it took for them to even respond. You could see and anyone that watches the video can see the magnitude of what was happening, and the threat to safety, not only to the person involved, but all the people, you know, down on the street. I was already on the other side of the street and filming for some period of time before the first fire truck even showed up. And then when they showed up, they just took one look at the guy and they were just completely indifferent about it. They were making no attempt to protect people or traffic on the street. The traffic was running over debris. They were making no effort to make a perimeter or protect people from thrown objects from the building. And I just can't imagine that would happen in Beverly Hills. It took an astonishingly long time for the police to show up. But that's kind of typical. I mean, a lot of times you'll call, you know, calling 911 and does not automatically get you does not automatically get you a call, you know, a police response. It was just a very interesting coincidence that all of this happened on the fourth floor, which was the last floor on which Elisa Lam stayed before she disappeared after having a psychotic episode. So it's, you know, it's probably just a coincidence, but it sure makes you think, doesn't it? Something about the fourth floor. So when I started my channel and people started, I started getting requests for samples of the water there. People would ask me if I drink the water and can I have the water. So I decided to start bottling the water for sale on my Etsy store. If you need to know exactly how this is used, or I'm not a metaphysical practitioner, so I can't really answer any questions about that, but I can guarantee you that under the guidance of the people that I'm saying, this was bottled at the height of a full moon from the plumbing system at the Hotel Cecil, and it's very reasonably priced at your Etsy store. So at the Etsy store, cecilwater.etsy.com. Get yours. Don't drink it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because you're not going to get this shit anywhere else. Yeah. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I instantly thought I was in a real life version of Donkey Kong, and so I beat a hasty retreat and went across the street. So and viewed the madness from that side.